Congressman, you just came out of that meeting. What was your bottom line assessment? How did it go?
Well, Wolf, we were glad to come to the White House. I mean, obviously, this is a huge decision for this president. A lot of us came out early spring when in March, President Obama said he was committed to the mission in Afghanistan to make sure that we dismantled al-Qaeda and its extremist allies in the name of U.S. security. And so now what we're hearing is from the commanders in the field an urgent cry for additional troops. And everyone's concerned about the status quo as the situation grows more dangerous for our troops on the ground. We were here to express our support for the president and his committing to the mission up front, and expressed our support to work with him if he makes the right decision, which is to listen to his commanders in the field who are asking desperately for more troops.
Do you have a problem with what Harry Reid just said, that strategy before resources? In other words, let the president and his commanders come up with a strategy, and then the issue of troops and other resources would be made. Is that a problem for you?
Well, the position I believe that many of us are taking is based upon General McChrystal's report. That is the commander in the field. That is the essence of the recommendations that have worked their way up through the system. I believe that that strategy is on the table for the president to make the decision. We came here in support of the president's relying on his commanders so that we can execute on our mission, which is going to be a tough one, which is to stabilize that region of the world in the name of U.S. security.
Is it fair to say that the Republicans who were in that room, Congressman, urged the president to implement General McChrystal's recommendations?
I think it is a fair assessment right now that Republicans are committed to supporting this president. If he says, yes, I will support our commanders on the ground.
What if he says no? He says, I want to come up with a different strategy, in effect, reducing the number of troops, as some say the Vice President Joe Biden advances such a strategy?
Well, Wolf, I think now all of us want what's best for this country, and we want to set politics aside and want to put U.S. security first. I believe that the best move is to look to the commanders in the field. None of us know better what's possible and what we can accomplish than the commander in the field, as is evidenced by General McChrystal's report. So if the president chooses to go a different route, it is obviously going to be tough for us, but we'll need to listen to what this president says about how we can succeed in our mission. It is about success in the mission.
Did he give you any indication of a time frame when he'll make up his mind?
There wasn't any definite commitment to a time frame. Obviously, there are many of us who feel that delay does signal uncertainty to the region. It does, I believe, signal uncertainty to the lives we've got on the ground. This is why it is so urgent, I believe, probably reflected in the voice of General McChrystal, who's had a lot of experience, as we know, Wolf, in Iraq with these type of operations, which is why we're here to say we'll support this president in responding to the request of General McChrystal.
What was the major point that you made? I assume you had a chance to say something to the president today, Congressman. Give us a tiny little synopsis of your major point.
Well, I did, Wolf, and I said to the president, look, I mean, it is his decision as commander-in-chief, and obviously a tough one. I spoke about the political will of this country and how no one likes war, and thank God we have men and women in uniform who will go on the front lines for us. And I committed to the president to be as supportive as possible in building a political case that it's necessary for us to have patience. It's necessary for us to support our commanders on the ground, to give him and his colleagues and the folks in the field what they need to secure their lives as well as our interests.
Who made the case in that meeting, Congressman, not to send any more troops?
Well, I think it was fairly unanimous that no one wants to leave the region. I think history is fraught with examples of an attempt to try and change the nature of that region unsuccessfully, and then a disappearance of those forces. I don't think anyone wants to do that, but I do think now there are some who want to avoid perhaps the political risk that it's going to take to respond to General McChrystal's request.
All right, Congressman Eric Cantor, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, Wolf.
Let's go back to